यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। श्री श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर भगवान की, श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम की जय, श्री श्री गौर निताई की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं, देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया, भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. So on the auspicious day of Vaman Dwadashi, we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 18, verse number 12. Yattat vapurvati vibhushanayudhai, yattat vapurvati vibhushanayudhair avyakta chidvyaktam adharayadhrihi, अव्यक्त चिद्व्यक्तम अधारयद्धीरहि। बभूव तेनै स वामनो वटुः बभूव तेनैव स वामनो वटुः सम्पश्यतोर्दिव्यगतिर्यथा नटः पश्यतोर्दिव्यगतिर्यथा नटः यत्तत् वपुर्भाति विभूषणायुधैर् अव्यक्तचिद्व्यक्तम् अधार्यद्धरैः बभूव तेनै स वामनो वटुः सम्पश्यतोर्दिव्यगतिर्यथा नटः विभूषणायुधै सम्पश्यतोर्दिव्यगतिर्यथा नटः यत्तत् वपुर्भाति विभूषणायुधैर् अव्यक्तं चिद्व्यक्तमधारधारहि बभूव तेनैव स वामनो वटुः सम्पश्यतोर्दिव्यगतिर्यथा नटः। माताजी यत्तद्वपुर्भाति विभूषणायुधैर् अव्यक्तचिद्व्यक्तमधारधरिः बभूव तेनै स वामनो वटुः सम्पश्यतोर्दिव्यगतिर्यथा नटः। यत् which, tat, that, vapuhu, transcendental body, bhakti, bhati, manifests, vibhushana, with regular ornaments, ayudhai, with weapons, avyakta, unmanifested, chidvyaktam, spiritually manifested, adharayat, assumed, Harihi, the Lord, Babhuva, immediately became, Ten, with that, Eva, certainly, Saha, he, the Lord, Vamanaha, dwarf, Vatuhu, a Brahmana brahmachari, Samprashyatoho, while both his father and mother were watching, Divya Gatihi, whose movements are wonderful, yatha, as nataha, a theatrical actor. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The Lord appeared in His original form with ornaments and weapons in His hands. Although this ever-existing form is not visible in the material world, He nonetheless appeared in this form. Then in the presence of his father and mother, he assumed the form of Vaman, the Brahmana dwarf, the brahmachari, just like a theatrical actor. Purport. The word nataha is significant. An actor changes dress to play different roles, but is always the same man. Similarly, as described in the Brahma Samhita 5.33.39, the Lord assumes many thousands and millions of forms. Advaitamachyutamanadimanantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayavvanam Cha He is always present with innumerable incarnations. Ramadi murtishu kala niyamena tishtan nanavataram akaroda bhuvaneshu kintu. Nonetheless, although he appears in various incarnations, they are not different from one another. He is the same person with the same potency, the same eternity, the same spiritual existence, but he can simultaneously assume various forms. When Vamanadev appeared from the womb of his mother, he appeared in the form of Narayan with 4 hands, equipped with necessary symbolic weapons, and then immediately transformed himself into Brahmachari Vatu. This means his body is not material. One who thinks that the Supreme Lord assumes a material body is not intelligent. He has to learn more about Lord's position. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 4.9, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvataha. One has to understand the transcendental appearance of the Lord in his original transcendental body, Satchidananda Vigraha. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurube Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Swapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupak Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Basadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I offer my pranams to Gadi Prabhu, Nartaki Mataji and Revati Mataji. It's a long time I'm seeing you. So with all the blessings of senior Vaishnavas, I humbly attempt to speak the glories of Vamanadev and Jiva Goswami today. So all of us know that Bali Maharaj is the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. And Prahlad Maharaj had the blessing that 10 generations ahead of him, 10 generations behind him, and his generation will all get liberated. This blessing was given by Lord Narasimhadev. So Bali Maharaj, although born in a demoniac family, he had the genes of his pure devotee grandfather. So he, although was a king of the demons, maintained his devotional fervor to Lord Vishnu. At the same time, he served the Brahmanas so much that they were very pleased with him. Especially his guru Shukracharya, who was Bhargava. He had received a tremendous amount of effulgence, tremendous power, Kshatra Tej. And that is why one time when he challenged the demigods, when he came on the battlefield, armed with all the weapons and his Teja, the demigods even could not see him. He was so powerful and effulgent. And demigods just fled away. They just went away from the battlefield. They met Brahaspati, Brahma, and they said, what to do? We can't even stand in front of him. He is so powerful. So they were advised that this is not the time to fight with him. This is the time to hide. Better you hide. Because he has got tremendous power from Brahmanas by satisfying them. So that time, the demons, the demigods lost all their kingdom, all their throne, all their sense gratification, Aishwarya, everything they lost. And they were hiding in caves. At that time, Mother Aditi felt very bad seeing the pitiable situation of her sons, their Kashyapa Munis and her sons, demigods. So that time, Lord decided to appear as Vamanadev to please the demigods and bring them back to their own glory. So Mother Aditi performed Payo Vrata, that is detailed, explained in the previous chapters. And with the power of her purity, sincere desire, the Lord appeared as Vamanadev. Today we are in 18th chapter of 8th canto of Bhagavatam, where Lord Vamanadev has appeared already. So he appeared with all his weapons, all his opulences, all his effulgence. His existence at that time was so magnanimous that the light spread all over the universe. And then for the pleasure of Mother Aditi and the demigods, he assumed a very unusual form. What is explained here, Prabhupada explains that the word Nataha is very significant. Nata means actor, Abhineta, one who takes many roles, wears many different dresses and acts in a different way as per the script written by the writer. So the Lord is explained here as a glorious Nata who assumes many wonderful forms to perform many wonderful activities. And then if we wouldn't have done that, then we wouldn't have Bhagavatam class. Bhagavatam class exists because so many wonderful pastimes in so much of details and so much of spiritual joy and bliss, with so much of variety. There is all kinds of emotion, all kinds of needs that we have emotionally are all fulfilled because the Lord assumes different forms to perform different transcendental divine leelas. So then it is also explained that this particular incarnation is called Siddha Avatar. Siddha Avatar means there was no childhood. He just appeared as four-armed form like he appeared to Devaki Vasudeva, and immediately he came down to an 8-year-old form. So there was no childhood as such. He became 8-year-old, and on the same day of his birth, many things happened. Generally on the day of birth, there are routinely happening, child is crying, everybody is dancing, distributing sweets and enjoying. But on the day of his appearance itself, when he changed into the 8-year-old dwarf Brahmana Brahmachari form, all the demigods appeared. This is very significant that the demigods don't get to see the Lord because they are in this universe and Lord comes very rarely to this universe and they cannot go to Vaikuntha or spiritual world. That is why they are always waiting when the Lord is coming, and when the Lord comes, everybody just rushes to where the Lord is coming. Like when Krishna was born in Gokul, all the demigods appeared in the prison house also before birth, and after birth they disguised and participated in Nandotsava as Brahmanas. So similarly here, all the demigods appeared at the scene to greet the Lord, to worship the Lord, to glorify the Lord. And a very unique thing happened. The Lord was given Upanayana Samskar on the day of his birth. And that Samskar was performed in the presence of all the demigods. Lord Suryadev, sun god, chanted the Gayatri Mantra in the ears of Lord Vamanadev. Mother Aditi gave Kopin. The demigod Guru, Deva Guru, Brahaspati, he gave the sacred thread, the Brahmana thread, Janevu. The demigods, headed by Indra, the king of demigod, he gave umbrella, Chhatri. Then Lord Brahma gave the water pot called Kamandalu. Mother Saraswati came and she gave Rudraksha beads. Kubera, very significantly and unusually, Kubera gave him a begging bowl. Kubera is supposed to be the Koshadhyaksha, the chieftain of the treasury of the demigods. But he gives a begging bowl. Parvati, Mother Parvati gave the first arm, the first dakshina to Vamanadev. The 7 rishis, Sapta rishis, they gave kusha mat, because the brahmachari, batu or brahmana or any worshipper, he needs to sit on the asan to perform his worship. Kashyap Muni, his father, gave him mekhla. Mekhla is straw belt. If you attended in the Upanayan Samskar, you will come to know that the kusha grass is made into a thread by multiple kusha grasses intertwined, and that is a long twisted kusha grass which is attached to the waist in a knot. That is called Mekhala Bandhan Vidhi. So Kashyap Muni gave that Mekhala Vidhi, straw belt. Mother Earth came and gave him deer skin, which is supposed to be very auspicious for performing meditation. Chandradev, Somdev, gave him the Brahmadanda that the brahmachari Vatu has to carry. All these gifts were very favorable for his mission as a Brahmana. They were not given as per the whims of the giver, what he feels like giving. Like they did not give him silk dhoti, they gave him deer skin. Kubera did not give him unlimited wealth. Kubera gave him begging bowl because the Brahmana has to go and beg. So it is explained by the Acharyas that all the gifts were given suitable to the mood and the activity of a Brahmana Vatu, Brahmachari. Another beautiful explanation is given that it appears that Mother Aditi was distressed, demigods were distressed, they were, they got bereft of all their wealth and their kingdoms, so that Brahmadev appeared. But that is the external reason. Externally he came to give the kingdoms back to his demigod devotees. And but actually Lord came to give the opportunity to Bali Maharaj to surrender and also to reveal his glories to everybody, because if he would not have done that, he would have remained as the king of demons. But because he did that, the real heart of Bali Maharaj was revealed to the whole world in such a glorious manner that he became the Acharya for the Navada Bhakti Atma Nivedanam, Atma Samarpana. He became Acharya for that Vidhi of Bhakti. So we can see that by the pleasure of, by giving pleasure to Brahmanas, one becomes very powerful. In fact, it is mentioned that one gets the power of God by God, empowered by God himself. So pleasing Brahmanas is one of the essential aspects of our Vaishnava culture. We have to always seek blessings from Brahmanas by pleasing them suitably and genuinely at the level of heart. And the blessings from the Brahmanas from the heart flows to the servant of Brahmanas, and thus one gains tremendous power. So because of that power, the demigods could not face. So the demigods were told by Brihaspati and Brahma that he has got so much blessings of Brahmanas that unless he offends a Brahmana, you cannot do anything about it. That is why the Lord said, I will take a incarnation which is chalayasi. Chalayasi means cheating. As a cheat, I will cheat him and I will somehow make him directly, indirectly offend me as a Brahmana, and then I will take care of the difficulty that you have and solve. But this is all external reason. Of course, the pastime is very long and very, very beautiful. One must read today on this auspicious day the whole pastime of Bali Maharaj and Vamanadev. Sometimes we get puzzled whether we should glorify Vamanadev, whether we should glorify Bali Maharaj. Because the Lord is actually appearing to glorify Bali Maharaj. And we are glorifying both. So the scene is like this. After all this Upanayan Samskara, the Lord leaves with blessings of all the demigods and mother and father, and he comes straight to a place today which is called as Bharuch, which comes at the station when we travel by August Kranti. That Bharuch is called Bhrugukacha. That is where Bali Maharaj, with the guidance of his Guru Shukracharya, was performing a great yagya. And all the his wives, his sister, his ministers, his army, his bodyguards, everybody was present there. That means all the people who respect him, adore him, worship him, were all present there, along with his Guru Maharaj. As soon as Vamanadev entered, it was explained, you can imagine that everybody just stood up like a spring, holding their hands, including Shukracharya and Bali Maharaj. He was so powerful that they forgot the mantras that they were chanting at that moment and just stood with so much of awe and reverence, wonderstruck with the beauty and effulgence of this beautiful Brahmana Batu. And there is a dialogue between Bali Maharaj and Vamanadev. So Vamanadev was asked by Bali Maharaj, I am so happy and so honored that you have chosen to come to my Yagyasthali. I definitely seek your blessings because you are so effulgent, so knowledgeable, so much realized. I want to please you. Please ask anything. Whatever you want, I will give you alms and thus fulfill my yagya. So he said, I want 3 steps of land. Everybody knows this story. So when he asked for the 3 steps of land, Bali Maharaj said, you look to be very intelligent, but actually you are not intelligent at all. Because you do not know what I possess and you are not considering whom are you asking from. I am Bali, the Trilok Vijayi, Samrat of the whole universe, 14 planetary systems. I own them. You can ask a planet from me. You can ask an island from me. You can ask anything from me. But still you are asking 3 steps of land. That too you are such a small boy, your steps are so small. How much land it will occupy? So Vamanadev has spoken very, very beautiful statement which we all in this world need to meditate upon constantly, whether we are brahmacharis, grahastha, sannyasi, vanprastha. He said, if you are not satisfied in what you have now, then even with the 3 worlds, achievement of 3 worlds, you will not be ever satisfied all throughout eternity. So what is the proof of that? Your proof of that is you. Because you already have 3 worlds under your possession. You are already the king of all the 3 worlds, but still you want official respect from all the demigods in the form of becoming Indra. That is why after getting the 14 planetary systems under your subjugation, you still want to perform 100 yagyas. So you are the proof that you are not happy. So why are you tempting me? So we are allowed to meditate on this. The whole world, the whole universe, all the existence, especially material existence, is based on discontent. Everybody, all of us are not happy with what we have. After what we have, we want to have that we don't have. And when we have that we don't have, we want to again have the thing that we don't have. And what we wanted to have, we have. Now we have no value for that. It was already ours. So till the time becomes ours, we are hankering. And then we get it and then we want something else which is outside of that. So whether we are a beggar on the street or whether we are a multi-millionaire king of the universe, the same principle applies. And discontent means we will not make any tangible spiritual progress. To make tangible and swift spiritual progress, we all need to be truly content at the level of our soul with what we have, physically, mentally, socially, financially, emotionally, family point of view, possession point of view, adhikar point of view, authority point of view. Whatever we have is by the power of our karma and by the desire of the Lord. And if we understand this, we will learn to be happy. But if we don't understand this, then we will always be hankering for what we don't have. So that there are 2 kinds of miseries. Na shochati, na kangshati. That means either we are lamenting for what we have and we have lost. And second is, we are hankering for what we don't have. So moha, bhaya and shoka. Shoka, moha and bhaya. So shoka is when we lose something what we have shok. And moha means or akanksha means we are hankering for what we don't have. So what is bhaya? Bhaya is the fear of losing what we have. Now we are not lost. What we have lost, we are lamenting for that. But what we still have, we are worrying, which day it will be lost. And at the same time, we are wondering when will I will have what I don't have. So this is the mystery of the material world. Because of these 3 things, we are always unhappy. And Srimad Bhagavatam explains, when we read Srimad Bhagavatam with full faith, Shoka moha bhayapavaha. It means the shoka, moha and bhai, all things are destroyed and one gets established at the level of the heart with the Supreme Lord. So, then Then he said, okay, whatever you want, I will give you. That is your desire. If that is going to satisfy you and fulfill your needs, I'm happy. So they do sankalpa for giving dan. There are some mantras to be chanted, some water to be sprinkled. At that time Shukracharya came and told in his ears, he is Supreme Lord, he is Vishnu, the leader of the enemies of all your enemies. And he has not come to bless you, he has come to ruin you, he has come to exploit you of all your wealth. You will become a beggar, you will become a pauper, you will lose all your opulence, respect, everything. Don't give him what he is asking. Still you have not done sankalpa. So Bali Maharaj, now his devotion for Krishna, Vishnu, is revealing. He said the ultimate purpose of life is to satisfy Vishnu. And I am not gone to search him to satisfy him. He has come to this Yagyasthali. And he has become a beggar to ask as a Brahmana. He is asking for some alms. How fortunate I am. You are supposed to encourage me to do this. And you are discouraging me for doing this. And he rejected the order of his Guru, his Daitya Guru. And he did the sankalpa. And also explained in some Pauranic scriptures that there is something called as dhari. Dhari means a spoon which has got many holes. And with that dhari, we have Panchapatra and the spoon, we have the watchman, something like that. And it has got holes. So when water will fall from that down, the sankalpa is complete. So Shukracharya went and closed all the holes. So Bali Maharaj pricked him with a needle and removed him and let the water pass. That's why Shukracharya is blind by one eye, which was pricked by his own disciple, Bali Maharaj. And sankalpa was done. And Bali Maharaj said, okay, now you take your 3 steps of land. And so Vamanadev said, yes, am I ready? Shall I take the steps? And in the front of the eyes of everybody, he assumed the form of Trivikrama. He was a small feet. He had a small batu. He became Trivikrama. He occupied the whole 14 planetary systems. He became so huge. Bali Maharaj just went on looking up and up and up. His crown fell down. But he could not fathom the expanse of the body of Lord Vamanadev, who now became Trivikrama. And shall I start taking steps now? Everybody was wonderstruck. At that time the sister of Bali Maharaj was also there, Ratnamala. When he came, she felt so much motherly affection for him. She felt like, oh, such a beautiful boy. Let him be my child. I will put him on my breast and give him my breast milk as mother. And she is watching all the situation, and then she sees that he has become Trivikrama. And with one step he occupied earth and all the lower planetary systems. You can imagine what is the size of his foot. And with the second step, he occupied all 7 heavenly planets. To the extent his big toe of the right foot touched the covering of the Brahmanda, made a hole and caused a leak. The water that emanated from the pores of the body of Mahavishnu came out of that hole inside the Brahmanda, which is now termed as Mother Ganga. And she came down to heavenly planets, which later on Bhagirath performed tapasya to get her down from heavenly planets to Mother Earth. So when this happened, in 2 steps he took away all the wealth that Bali Maharaj had. That means a second ago he was the king of the 3 universes, 3 lokas. Yeah? And in next second he became the beggar. He didn't have a penny to even give in the place of the 3rd step. So when everything was usurped, or he was cheated of all his opulence, that time his sister Ratnamala felt so angry that she felt that I should feed poison to this child and kill him. So that is why this Ratnamala became Putana. So she felt like becoming mother and she felt like poisoning the Lord. So both desires were fulfilled by the Lord. She fed milk on her breast to Krishna, and she also wanted to feed poison to him. In the process, instead of killing Krishna, she got killed. Anyways, so that time after putting these 2 steps and occupying the full universal situation, existence, Vamanadev Trivikram asked him, so where do I put my 3rd step? You have promised 3 steps to me. So at that time the pauper, bereft of all wealth, he said, I have lost everything, but I still have myself, my existence, my body, my own self, my ego. This is me, myself. Please put your 3rd foot on my head and let me complete my vow. So the Lord put his 3rd step on his head and pushed him under the earth to a planet called Sutala. Before that, I forgot to tell you something. When he didn't have anything to give, immediately all the demigods were hiding first. They appeared wherever they were. This is what usually happens. When the Lord is fighting with the demon, the demigods are either hiding behind a cloud. When the Lord is not so much victorious, and the Lord becomes apparently victorious, they come out of the cloud. Again the demon becomes powerful, they go behind the cloud. So they are always worrying, we are not sure who's going to win. They don't have so much faith that Lord will win. They feel if the Lord loses, then if the demon who will win over the Lord will see us watching the whole battle, he will come and kill us. So they are going in and out constantly. So as soon as the king Bali Maharaj, he became pauper, Varun Dev came and tied him with Varun Pasha. Varun has his own tying equipment, like Yamraj has Yam Pash. So he was arrested by demigods and he was pulled very disrespectfully on the ground by the demigods towards Lord Vishnu. So he was so much humiliated, you can imagine. All his enemies, they are tying him up and dragging him with no respect at all. And plus he is disrespected in front of his wives, in front of his relatives, in front of his ministers and demon soldiers and bodyguards. And so everybody was there who were supposed to respect him and were respecting him. In front of all of them, he was humiliated to utterly bad situation. This humiliation is uncomparable. The way he was humiliated. He was not humiliated in seclusion, in jungle, only in front of demigods. Everybody who was supposed to be there, they were all present there for the glorious yajna of Bali Maharaj. So that time we all feel that he was subjugated, he was conquered, he was insulted. But Acharyas explained that Bali Maharaj at that moment, he was being dragged by the Varun Pash towards Lord Vishnu, Trivikrama. He was experiencing ultimate ecstasy. Ultimate ecstasy he was experiencing. And then when Lord pushed him to Sutarloka, again another insult was there, that he was like punished to go to Sutarloka. But the blessings that Lord gave him, the Lord said, I will award you, as you are bereft of everything, you have given everything to me up, offered everything to me. I will award you Sutarloka, which is supposed to be a lower planetary system, not so good. But I will upgrade that Sutarloka to a place much, much better opulent than my demigod king Indra also. And the first person to be envious of your unparalleled wealth at Sutarloka will be Indra only. So I will send my chakra to you, with you, when you will ascend you will go to your kingdom. And my chakra will protect your kingdom first from Indra and then from anybody else. Then he said, you will live for thousands of years with all your demoniac family members, but your consciousness will not be affected even iota. You will remain a pure devotee and maintain your pure devotional consciousness all throughout. Even though you are with demoniac wives and children and family members and your soldiers and your bodyguards. You will become Indra at the end of your tenure in Sutarloka. And lastly he said, with overwhelming emotion and appreciation and love for Bali Maharaj, what he had done, he said, I will come to Sutarloka as your doorkeeper. Generally when Lord goes down, like Narasimhadev, one day job, maybe 9 days, he taught Prahlad Maharaj lot of yoga and everything. So small tenure avatar. And Lord has to go back immediately. So Vamanadev was supposed to go back immediately to Vaikuntha because mission successful. But he on the spot, out of his own spiritual loving emotion, and sentiment for Bali Maharaj, appreciation for him, he decided on the spot to become the doorkeeper servant of Bali Maharaj. And he went to Sutal-loka. And while they were going, Prahlad Maharaj was there in the assembly. He had come to witness the glorious pastime of Lord Vamanadev. And Prahlad Maharaj was carrying the Narsimha Murti which Narsimha Bhagavan had given him when he was departing. So he was worshipping him throughout the ages. So he had come to witness the pastime. He was there. And when the Lord declared, I will become the Dwarapal, Prahlad Maharaj said, what I am going to do here? He handed over the Murti to some devotee and said, you please take care of my deity. I am going with the Lord. Now Lord is giving personal association to me. It can be, if I go with him, and to Bali Maharaj. So both of them went to Sutal-loka. While going to Sutal-loka, he met Shukracharya. And he said, Lord said to Shukracharya, see, 99 yagyas are complete and successful. The 100th one is not successful because of the incompleteness of donation that he gave me. Technically, by giving his head, he has fulfilled. But still Lord said, from the worldly point of view, he appears to be unsuccessful. I order you to make the 100th yagya complete by your mantra, tantra, whatever you have. And that time Shukracharya, Daitya Guru, has made a statement. He said, whichever fire sacrifice, whichever Agni Hotra is incomplete or deficient by some technical thing, if one chants the holy name of Lord Hari, all the doshas, all the deficiencies, truti of any yagya, any technical yagya are nullified and they are considered complete. So at the very yagya sthali, Shukracharya has performed Harinam Sankirtan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Because Lord told Shukracharya, I want his 100th yagya also to be complete, so that after completing 100 Ashwamedha yagyas, one becomes Indra, for the purpose of which he had done the 100 yagyas. I want to make him Indra. So there are many stories like this. Whenever there is a deficiency in the service by a sincere pure devotee of the Lord completes his service, makes his perfect, and gives the benefit to the devotee of the Lord. So if your heart is very sincere and we are having a lot of deficiencies, but we are working very hard to perform our service most perfectly as far as possible, then even the incomplete so-called service is accepted by the Lord by making it perfect and complete, and then accepted by the Lord. And all the fruits that we need to get by that activity we get. Like Radharani came one time to Anjanok, Hari, to please the Lord by associating with him without putting the mascara. The Lord laughed. He said, hey, why are you laughing? So he said, you have come with all the makeup but without decorating your eyes. She said, I will go back again and complete and come. No, don't worry. Don't go. I will complete your Shringar. Because you are done Shringar to please me. So he rubbed his hand over a stone and he created Kajal, the mascara, and his own beautiful hands he decorated the beautiful eyes of Radharani. And thus her Shringar was completed. The same thing. Anything incomplete, deficient, but sincerely performed in sincere attempt, the Lord will nullify everything, make it perfect and complete, and accept it as wonderful service from our side. So thus the Lord went to Sutal-loka. And in Vrindavan temples, when you enter, there are two places there at the entrance. You can sit down there. Those are the places for Dwarpal, for the doorkeepers. They guard the door, like Jay and Vijay in Vaikuntha. So Prahlad Maharaj on one side and Vamanadev on another side. They both sat there. And what they did, just keep on glorifying Bali Maharaj. And Bali Maharaj had many entrances, many doors. So Lord would run from one door to another. Because today he decided to enter from that door. So they would run to the different door. You can imagine the love of the Lord for his devotees, taking so much of trouble like a servant, running from pillar to post. So many days passed and expected time also has gone over. So Lakshmi Devi in Vaikuntha was worrying, what happened to my Lord? So Narad Muni came and told her, your Lord is doing a job of a doorman, doorkeeper. So she went. Said, I have to get my husband back. So she went. And Bali Maharaj offered Dandvat Pranam to her. He said, Mother, please tell me, what can I do for you? He said, you will do whatever I want. I know you are very famous for keeping your word. And you are very charitable. I know you are very, very magnanimous. And that day, the Vaman, the king of demons, Bali Maharaj, was sitting and doing charity as every day, from sunrise to sunset. And Lakshmi Devi came as an old lady in disguise. And she was waiting, not coming in the front to ask. And the sunset time, he had to stop giving charity, and everybody had taken and gone, and she didn't come. So she asked, Mother, you come, why are you not asking me? He said, will you give? Yes, sir, I will give. Then she changed her form to Lakshmi and told him, please give my husband back to me. Bali Maharaj that time fell unconscious. Even the thought of losing the association of Vamanadev. He was revived by his associates. He said, Mother, you have asked me something which is very, very difficult for me to give, because I have achieved the mercy and the association of the Lord after so much of trouble. After so much of trouble, in the sense, all that thing he had to go through and everything. So one story which I heard one time says that, he said, you want your Lord, right? You want your Lord, I want my Lord. And both are one person only. So why don't you both stay here only? So in that way, I will have my Lord's association with your association, and you will have your husband with you. So everything is fine, you stay here only. So she stayed. And after staying for a few months, at the end of the Kartik, on the Kartik Purnima day, Lakshmi Devi told, now we have to go back. So that time with a heavy heart, he let them go. Another story which I heard from His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he said that at that very moment there was a tricky situation. If I fulfill my wife's desire, my devotee will be unhappy. If I fulfill my devotee's desire, my wife will be unhappy. And in Bhagavatam, the Lord has already explained, when my devotee is in picture, I love my devotee more than Balaramji, Lakshmi Devi, and something else. One more thing he said. 3 things which are very dear to him, very close to him. He said, I don't even care for them when my pure devotee is in front of me. I love him the maximum. So the Lord decided that he will have 2 forms. With one form he will go back to Vaikuntha to please Lakshmi, and in one form he is living eternally in Sutal Loka. Of course, at least till the time when he completed his 36,000 years and he actually assumed the position of Indra that time. All that time, Lord resided in Sutal Loka. So what we learn from this is, apparently it looks like he appeared to give the kingdom back to the demigods, to restore them, rehabilitate them. But he actually came to reveal the glories of Bali Maharaj. So what is the difference between what they received? The demigods received the Aishwarya, and Bali Maharaj received the Lord himself. Of course, he didn't want him to become a servant, but Lord chose to become the servant of his devotee in a very menial way by becoming doorkeeper. Even Lakshmi Devi, when she came, she pleaded that, can you not decide one gate every day, so that my Lord doesn't have to run from one gate to another? Please at least decide one gate where you will come every day from. She was seeing that the Lord is so much enamored by the love, overwhelmed with love for Bali Maharaj. He was ready to do anything. He would not think, I am the Lord and why should I run from pillar to post? So this is the beautiful story in 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam regarding the glory of Bali Maharaj, the Acharya of Atmanivedanam, and the beautiful Lord who actually made this glory revealed to all of us. So on this auspicious day, we offer our pranams to Bali Maharaj and we pray to him that when time comes in our life to surrender to the Lord, we should not hesitate. Rupa Goswami in his writings, he explains to us, don't ever hesitate to surrender, because you don't lose anything by giving up everything to the Lord. It is said that Lord never keeps anything which is given by you to him. Lord receives something from you and returns in abundance, in multiples. So if you give everything, and what is the proportionate? If you give everything, then he also gives everything. If you give yourself, he also gives yourself. But his giving to us in return is much more magnified or in multitude in proportion than what we give. Because our one step is small, his one step is very big. So when you take one step, he takes one step towards you, but that one step is very, very big. So he is Supreme Lord, Paramatma, all Supreme Personality of Godhead. When he offers himself, he becomes servant of the person who is offering himself to the Lord. That is why it is very rare to get the benediction of Shuddha Bhakti, pure devotional service. Because when that is performed, Sri Krishna rarely gives somebody Shuddha Bhakti, because when that he gives, along with that he has to give himself to that person. He has to become subordinate, he has to become Mr. Nobody in service to that person who is a Shuddha Bhakta. Because the sixth quality of Shuddha Bhakti is Sri Krishna Akarshani. Shuddha Bhakti attracts even the heart of Sri Krishna, which is generally not attracted very easily. So we see in Vrindavan, when all the Brajvasis are totally surrendered 100%, he is the slave of all cows and cowherd boys and gopis and mother and father, and he is not, what he is not doing for them. Menial thing, he is forgotten, he is given up the consciousness, the cognizance of his being the Supreme Lord. He has deleted that knowledge from everybody's heart in Vrindavan Dham, and he is just simply serving them menially. And that gives him great pleasure. It is not like, with these few devotees I have to give up all these things, so painful for me. Actually, the way he enjoys with being the Lord, many crores of times he enjoys when he becomes subordinate to his pure devotees who love him. So, we will all receive opportunity for surrendering to Lord. Not only our wealth and our property and our power and our authority, but also our ego will be tested by the Lord, and it will be demanded indirectly by the Lord that we should give up everything now. Time to give up, time to forego, time to be rid of all those anarthas. Lord creates an opportunity for all his sincere seekers. All his sincere seekers who are performing sadhana very sincerely at the bottom of the heart, Lord will create unlimited opportunities for that devotee to progress towards him, and always create opportunity to surrender also. If we lose the opportunity, our journey becomes very long. It gets diverted. If we take the opportunity, it becomes shortcut very quickly. If Bali Maharaj would have thought, what would I do? Maharaj, please tell me, how do I do? Should I have to perform any yagyas more? It would have been long journey. But he, without hesitation, the greatest difficult thing that he had to give was his own ego. In front of all his enemies and in front of his relatives. It could have been so difficult actually. It is so difficult. But he had no hesitation in offering his head in front of everybody to apparently get humiliated. But that humiliation apparently was the greatest of blessings and the greatest of activity one living entity can do in presence of the Lord, for the Lord. So, however we speak about Bali Maharaj, it is always less, because such heartfelt blessings the Lord gave him. Such heartfelt benedictions the Lord gave him. Like we say in the bhar ke, that means this was pouring his heart, one after another. And Indra was like wondering, what? I thought he is pushing him into hell, but he is making him bigger than me also. Honoring him bigger than me also. We all received our Vaishwarya, he received the Lord. Which is so rare. They all have come to see the darshan of the Lord, but the Lord is going to his house to give him all-time darshan, including into this Brahmanda, where the appearance and darshan of the Lord, which is explained in this shloka, is very rare. Seeing the Lord in this universe is very rare. In this universe only, in Sutal, so-called lower planetary system, the Lord is giving such association and darshan constantly and serving Bali Maharaj. So thank you very much. Now we will also describe in few words about our dear Acharya Jiva Goswami. Today is the appearance day of Jiva Goswami. How much time do we have, with your permission? Huh? Oh, wow. Jai Shri Radhe. Okay, I'll just read. Jiva Goswami is Vilas Manjari in Krishna Leela. He was son of Sri Vallabha, brother of Sri Rupa and Sanatan. His father was devotee of Lord Ram. Lord Chaitanya came to Ramakeli to meet the three of them. They came in the middle of the night with straw in the mouth. At that time, Jiva Goswami, the small child, was witnessing their all leelas, all intense, emotional, transcendental pastimes. And he witnessed all that emotion, especially he witnessed the beauty of Lord Chaitanya, which is described in detail in what he watched. He got intoxicated with ecstatic love. He could not stop thinking of Lord Chaitanya day and night and could not stop chanting Hare Krishna. In the childhood, he made deities of Krishna Balaram himself, and he worshipped the deities with all kinds of activities like feeding, decorating, ornamenting, everything. He would sleep with them with his arms, in his arms. He had no childhood playing. Although he was very rich, he was staying in palace. Still, he had no interest in childhood plays. One day he saw two dreams. In one dream he saw Harinam Sankirtan of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu with millions of devotees. They were all getting intoxicated with love. And it went on for a long time, and Jiva Goswami was crying and crying, where this Lord has gone, when the dream ended. And he woke up. He was in agony of separation from Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda. And then second dream came, when he went to sleep again. Krishna and Balaram, his own deities we were worshipping, they came in personal form. And in front of his eyes, they turned into Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda. Lord Chaitanya said, "Oh Jiva, I am handing over to you, to my dear Lord Nityananda." And Lord Nityananda said, "I bless you to always remember the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya." So both of them very complimentarily blessed him. Later, very soon, his father left his body on the way from Vrindavan to Puri. Lord Jiva went to Navadvip, because all the life he always wanted to leave and surrender his life to Lord Chaitanya. So he went to Navadvip, Srivasangan. Lord Nityananda had travelled from all the way from Kardaha to Navadvip. He said, "I have travelled from all distance to just have your darshan, to receive you." Lord Nityananda put his lotus feet on Jiva's head again. In the dream also, both of them had put their feet on his head. Sachi Mata and Vishnu Priya cooked for Jiva Goswami, Lord Nityananda and other Vaishnavas. Jiva fell unconscious at Jagannath Mishra's house, feeling sorry that why I was not there when Lord resided here in the very house. When he tasted the food from Vishnu Priya and Sachi Mata, he felt ecstasy. Then Lord Nityananda decided to give personal tour of Navadvip Dham. This is the unusual mercy of Lord Nityananda on Jiva Goswami. Later, Bhaktivinoda Thakur had the vision of this tour that Lord Nityananda gave to Jiva Goswami in person with few other devotees. And he wrote that book called Navadvip Mahima, Navadvip Mahatmya, which is also available, blue-colored book. So Lord Nityananda took him to all the holy places of Navadvip where Lord Chaitanya performed his pastimes. Everywhere when they were visiting different holy places, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Panchatattva, of course Nityananda Prabhu was with him directly, but others who had left this world, they were appearing again and again and performing their divine kirtan. And Lord and Jiva Goswami was falling again and again unconscious, which Lord Nityananda had to revive him again and again. Then Lord Nityananda, after this parikrama of Navadvip, told him, "Please go to Varanasi and stay under Madhusudan Vachaspati, the disciple of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, to study scriptures and become learned." He became the best student and the best scholar under the teachings of Madhusudan Vachaspati. At 20, Jiva Goswami went to Vrindavan. He was welcomed by all the Goswamis, Lokanath Goswami, Bhugarbha Goswami, other 5 Goswamis senior to him. He went to Sanatan Goswami for asking for Diksha. Sanatan Goswami directed him to Rupa Goswami for Diksha. Rupa Goswami was served humbly by Jiva, by massaging feet, by menial service, bringing Burjapatra to write scriptures, clean vessels, get water, everything most menially. Rupa Goswami initiated him and trained him in all the Shastras that he had learned from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Dashashwamedh Ghat at Prayag. Rupa Goswami noted one day the desire of Jiva Goswami to serve the deities. Radharani came in the dream of Rupa Goswami and taught Rupa Goswami how to carve the deities from the stone, because Rupa Goswami was not a sculptor by profession. So with the guidance directly from Radharani, he carved the deities which were named as Radha Damodar. They were served by Rupa Goswami in the beginning, and then with love he gifted the deity of Radha Damodar to Jiva Goswami. Bhakti Ratnakar explains the intimacy of Radha Damodar and Jiva Goswami. Damodar means baby Krishna. As the baby Krishna, he would come personally and tell, Jiva, I'm hungry, feed me. And then he would eat those items personally in front of Jiva Goswami. One time Damodar called Jiva to see him runningly, please come running. Damodar was dressed up nicely with all ornaments. And Jiva Goswami saw and went into ecstasy, fell unconscious. After Rupa and Sanatan, Jiva Goswami became the leader of Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Acharya Srinivas, Ramananda Goswami, Narottam Das came to him and he trained them. He declared, Acharya Srinivas, I don't have time now, that particular pastime by which he glorified Srinivas by giving him title Acharya in front of all the Vaishnavas. Similarly, in one story of Narottam Das Thakur, who gave title of Narottam Das Thakur Mahashoy to Narottam. And then later Dukhi Krishna became Sukhi Krishna and Shamananda. Okay. Jiva Goswami wrote 400,000 verses. He composed. He wrote 25 books. He was the most prolific writer of his time and the maximum number of verses that he has written. His genius was when Mughals were attacking and they were actually digging the graves, the samadhis of Vaishnava Acharyas and, destroying them, disrespecting, insulting and destroying the bodies buried in the samadhi. So when Raghunath Das Goswami left his body, Jiva Goswami, out of his great intelligence, burnt the body of Raghunath Das Goswami, did Daha Sanskar, then the ashes he put it in the samadhi and made the samadhi. So what samadhi you go to Radhakund and see, the body of Raghunath Das Goswami is not there. Intelligently to save and to maintain respect of Raghunath Das Goswami, he did this wonderful activity. He inherited the Govardhan Shila of Sanatan Goswami, long story, because he was the Acharya. When everybody left, he became the leader of Vaishnavas. So inheritance from Sanatan Goswami came naturally to him, that we see today in the temple of Radha Damodar. He brought deities of many Acharyas together in Radha Damodar temple because of social and financial reasons. At one point of time, all the Acharyas having the deities, they left. So there was nobody to worship them. They were in different temples. Today also, if you go to Seva Kunj, you'll find different temples, locked now, but mentioned there. Vrindavan, Chandra and so many temples. So he brought them together. So what do we have in Damodar temple today? We have Radha Damodar, his own deities. We have Radha Vrindavan Chandra of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. We have Radha Madhav of Jaydev Goswami. We have Radha Chail Chicken of Bhugarbha Goswami. And we have the Sheela of Sanatan Goswami in front. If you do 4-time parikrama of the temple, you get parikrama of Govardhan benefit. So in the course of time, Jiva Goswami passed away and his body and samadhi is laid down right in the courtyard of Radha Damodar temple. And that whole area is called Seva Kunj, where Lord Sri Krishna is constantly massaging the feet and serving Srimati Radharani. Such an intimate place where Jiva Goswami resided. And there are many more pastimes of Jiva Goswami. So first to say that we are proud followers of Jiva Goswami. Jiva Goswami has written a book called Gopal Champu, in which Krishna Lila is explained in such details that we cannot imagine. Such details. Snigdha Kanta and Madhukanta, the two Gopas, are going back and forth and describing to Nanda Maharaj what is happening with Krishna wherever he was. And that whole description of Snigdha Kanta and Madhukanta is compiled by Jiva Goswami as Sri Gopal Champu. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So thank you very much. I also enjoyed the express description of Jiva Goswami. If there is any time for questions, you can ask. Otherwise, we can end our discussion here. Yes. Give him microphone, please. Hare Krishna.
Sometimes we see a picture of Prabhupada and Radha Damodar riding and Rupa Goswami manifesting himself. And Jiva Goswami. So it's just by Prabhupada's being inspired and empowered also by the Goswamis that he spread the glories all over the world. You can say a few words about that?
Yes. The very event, a very story that we know, that Prabhupada was in Radha Bansi Gopal temple And then the loving Goswamis of Damodar temple invited him to stay. Because that is the hub of Gaudiya Vaishnava preaching. Like we have many technical geographical hubs in the world. But this is the spiritual Gaudiya Vaishnava hub. And Prabhupada was led by Sri Krishna himself to that place, where Jiva Goswami and 6 Goswamis always came together and discussed about how to preach and how to change the whole world. That is the place which Srila Prabhupada was drawn to by the mercy of the Lord, So naturally, the place where the Samadhi and Bhajan Kuti of Rupa Goswami is there the Goswamis, many Goswamis, not only the 6 plus 2, but many of them will come and discuss. After that, Narottam Das Thakur, Acharya Srinivas and Ramananda also, they would wash their feet and come and sit there. That courtyard is filled with unlimited mercy of all our Acharyas. And Srila Prabhupada was meditating in that place. He would sweep that place with tears in his eyes in the night. From morning till evening he will write, keeping his lunch plate outside the door as it is. Then he will come out and sweep the courtyard in front of Rupa Goswami's Samadhi, and then he would honor his prasadam of the day. That is why he said that whatever I wrote there, and of course later on also, is my spiritual ecstasy. What I relished in Radha Damodar temple, in the temple of Rupa Goswami's residence and bhajan, and Jiva Goswami's residence and bhajan and preaching everywhere, he drew all the energy from all the acharyas, because he was doing their mission. When you follow a genuine Guru's instruction, you attract the mercy of all the acharyas, all the previous acharyas. And he was drawing that right in the hub, in the Rajdhani, in the capital of Vaishnava preaching. That is why, yes.
And the fruit of all that is the Krishna Balaram Mandir.
Yes, 100%. Krishna Balaram temple, Mayapur temple, the temple of Vedic planetarium, and temple in New York and all over the world, everything is manifestation of that mercy which he received at Radha Damodar temple. He was like bathed and overwhelmed with the mercy of all the Goswamis in Radha Damodar temple, with which he went and he carried Srimad Bhagavatam with him. He said, I am not traveling to America. Srimad Bhagavatam is traveling to America, I am accompanying Srimad Bhagavatam. That was his most humble, dedicated mood. About his stay in Radha Damodar temple, whatever we say is incomplete. And he said that place is so dear to him that he always resides in that place. Whoever wants to serve him can serve him there, and he will receive eternally. While he was alive also he would say, I am living there eternally. Today also, if you want to access the mercy of Prabhupada, you can go to the Samadhi, or if you are on the tour of Vrindavan, you can go to Radha Damodar temple and sit in the house and meditate and pray. His heart is there, always beating with the message of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to spread to the whole world and to rehabilitate everybody back home, back to Godhead. Jiva Goswami ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you very much. Hari Bol.